Elara Elegy. Elara Elegy sat alone in her small, scarred studio. Rain lashed the single window facing the grey harbour. Before her, an empty sheet of parchment lay untouched. Her fingers traced the worn wood of the violin case beside her. Music used to live in her bones, a deep current beneath her ribs. Now, silence pressed in, thick and suffocating. Her motivation was simple: to hear the symphony again. Not for fame, not for applause, but to silence the hollow echo in her own heart. She needed the music to wake up. A frantic knock shattered the quiet. Elara opened the door to find old Silas Thorne, his face pale beneath his worn fisherman's cap, clutching a thick, unfamiliar envelope. "Found it this morning," he rasped, voice trembling. "Tied to a salmon in the breakwater. Thought it might be yours, Elara. Saw light burning through that window." He pressed the envelope into her hands. It felt heavy, ancient. Inside, rolled tight, was not a letter, but a score, written in fading ink on brittle parchment. Its title glared at her: Symphonic Awakening. The waves outside seemed to roar suddenly. Something vital had been disturbed. Elara held the parchment like a live thing. The notes were beautiful, yet utterly alien, complex chords that strained the ear, rhythms that defied time. It felt like discovering a foreign language written in light. "Who is this for?" she demanded, looking up from the score. Silas shook his head, his weathered face etched with worry. "Doesn't see. Just found it." But the handwriting beneath the stylistic flourish, the unfamiliarity. It screamed lies to Elara. It screamed a trap. She crumpled the parchment in her fist, fighting the dizzying fear. "It's not mine," she whispered, more to herself than Silas. "It's not my music." Yet the silence within her seemed to answer with a mocking acoustic echo. Refuge came unexpectedly. At the harbour's edge, beneath the skeletal ribs of decayed fishing nets, a figure detached himself. Tall, dressed in dark wool against the salt wind, his eyes held the depth of the storm sea. He introduced himself simply as Artemis. He knew the score. He knew the silence she carried. "It is found by you for a reason, Elara," he stated, his voice calm amidst the gale. "Its power seeks the one who I hear it finally. Silas is a messenger." He offered not guidance but a choice, a simple tuning fork, glowing with a soft internal light. "This is to align with its frequency, but you must choose to listen." An unexpected hand offered her the tool to wield the strange instrument. Elara took the tuning fork. Holding it, the strange music from the score began to resonate within her, pushing against her own silence. But the power wasn't gentle. Sounds from the world, the crashing waves, the shriek of gulls, even the thrum of her own pulse, sharpened into discordant shrieks. The harbour became a cacophony that clawed at her mind. Leaders demanded the symphony be performed. Someone whispered freak and danger as reports of sonic disturbances surfaced. The pressure mounted like water outside. Artemis was gone when she looked. Alone again, the score pressing against a palm, the discordant world pressing in on her ears. She couldn't escape it. She had to understand it. Elara returned to the studio, the luminous tuning fork humming in her grip. Around her, the dissonance filled the air with phantom chaos. She opened the score. The first notes screamed in her ears, visualized as jagged, painful light. Closing her eyes, she held the tuning fork, focusing on its pure, resonant hum. She didn't fight the music, she listened through it, feeling the vibrations in the wood of the case, the structure of the room, the very air. Slowly, desperately, she began to sing. Not words, but pure tones, matching her voice to the discordant intervals Artemis described. It was agony. It was the only anchor. The room stopped, the phantom noises vanished, silence returned, but this silence was different. It was hollow no more, it was space. filled with the single steady resonance she held, amplified by the luminous fork. The pages of the score flared with soft light, the chaotic symbols resolving into complex, beautiful harmony. Elara opened her eyes. The symphony wasn't in the sheet anymore, it was behind it. It was the silence between notes, the breath before sound. It was the awakening of harmony within herself. She laid down the fork. She picked up her violin. The bow drew across the string. A single pure note rang out, clear and true, shattering the old silence for good. The harbour master's curse would find her at her window no more. Elara Elegy was alive.